Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Ring Talk from the Free State Sports Podcast. We just finished our newly branded Cover Zero edition of the podcast, where we talk about all things NFL playoffs. If you like football, go over there and check that out as well. We're available on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. Links will be in the description. We got a lot to talk about in this episode. Everything from TNA and AEW to our thoughts and predictions on the upcoming Royal Rumble pay-per-view premium live event. That'll be fun.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's what we're going to refer to from now on. The Royal Rumble. I'm joined with my usual hosts, Andrew and Saiquan. How you doing, fellas?
Did you say usual?
Yeah, one of my usuals and one of our occasionals.
Hi, I'm occasional.
But let's start off with some stuff we don't usually talk about. Some other promotions in here, if you will. WWE and TNA have announced a multi-year partnership aimed at creating crossover opportunities within WWE and TNA programming. To talk a little bit more about TNA, their star Joe Hendry just recently captured the TNA World title from Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. He also defended against Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, with the help of JBL. TNA seems to be on fire right now. What do you guys think of the opportunities that this partnership could create for both TNA and WWE?
A lot of opportunities. A lot. I really want an invasion angle to really start out, and not just on NXT.
Yeah.
There's a lot of superstars I would like to see on the main roster, and a lot of main roster superstars I would like to see in TNA. Mm-hmm. Like AJ Styles going back to TNA would be amazing.
It would, yeah.
Families. No. Countries.
Saquon, what do you think?
For sure. I hope this isn't limited to just NXT with TNA. We could possibly see former faces that have left the company, went to TNA, went to indie promotions, come back, such as Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, so forth and so on. There's a lot of possibilities, and the Rumble's coming up, and that is a great transition for this contract or this news. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm pumped and excited. Hopefully we can see some throwbacks such as AJ Styles and so forth and so on.
Yeah, I'm excited too. There's a lot of cool opportunities. We've seen a little bit of some angles they've done with NXT superstars. I think Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez have showed up in TNA. Obviously, Jordan Grace's contract with TNA is up. She might show up at the Royal Rumble. We're going to get into all that. Sorry, the Royal Rumble. She's going to get into that. We're going to get into that a little later.
Live event.
Yeah. But, yeah, a lot of cool possibilities there. So I'm excited to follow it, especially to Saquon's point, just in time for the Royal Rumble. So that'll be fun. Royal Rumble. Never going to live that down. But speaking of other wrestling promotions, let's talk a little bit about one we don't usually talk about. That would be AEW.
What's going on over in AEW, Mike?
Well, to be quite honest with you, it seems like Tony Khan is kind of holding on for dear life right now, while WWE and even TNA now are thriving. He's denied releases for two of his top stars, Ricky Starks and Rey Fenix, the brother of Penta, who just recently debuted on Raw. He added injury time to Rey Fenix's contract. So I gotta ask you guys, with all the locker room drama, the lack of really compelling booking, and now WWE Saturday night main event, Saturday night main event, which is now competing with AEW's Collision on Saturdays. What do you guys make of the current landscape of AEW and what their future looks like?
Well, honestly, Mike,
for sure.
I think I already got my hands on Tony Khan's playbook. All right, I know exactly what he's going to do, and he's going to throw more money at it.
Yep.
He's going to keep pumping money into it. I mean, he's got unlimited money anyway.
Yeah.
Unfathomably rich.
Right.
Throw more money at it. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not going to work. I really don't know what to say. Everything is so uncertain on a week-to-week basis with AEW now. I mean, there's gripes coming out of MJF's corner now.
Yeah.
And if you don't keep your biggest superstar happy, what are you going to do?
Right.
It's got to be scary.
Yeah, they've had issues with Britt Baker. Obviously, they had that whole thing with CM Punk over there. I don't know. It's been weird to watch, and their booking is just like even with MJF, he was red hot. He was their biggest guy at one point. Got that big contract from them, and then they were finally going to do something different with him, and they backed off, and now they're keeping him the same thing that he's been for the last 6 years. I don't feel like they know what they're doing with their talent over there, and I think you're exactly right. He just keeps throwing money at it and hoping for the best. It's a disaster at this point.
Yeah.
Saiquan, what do you think about it?
Honestly, we've said before, but Tony Khan is a mixed bag. One moment, he's appealing to the audience. He's doing all the right things. And the next moment, it becomes politicky. It becomes unprofessional. Emotions get over the way. Lines are drawn, especially with this Rey Fenix situation. It's very childish, in my opinion, and also the Ricky Starks situation. To further clarify on the whole Rey Fenix situation, Rey was out the door along with Penta, and when Tony got missed that, Rey wanted to leave to go to WWE. He added injury time. He's further on taking down all merchandise from the website. Is also not allowing Rey to compete in any other company in the meantime. However, he's allowing Ricky Stark to do whatever he wants, which I'm not sure what's the deal with that. I have no issues with Ricky Stark, but it just seems selfish. I get it to a degree. I would have no idea what to do with over 300 to 400 different people across AEW, Dynamite, and Collision, as well as Ring of Honor. But it's just mass confusion, and it always seems like Tony is taking things personal with Saturday Night Main Event competing with AEW. I've said before, I think Tony should just swallow his pride and just do a Worlds Collide event with WWE. He has to. We've seen the worst at this point, and we've seen the worst of the worst, and we see the best of the best of AEW. Worst of the worst being the fact that you publicly tried to humiliate, my apologies, CM Punk with the release of backstage footage, which didn't even benefit on your point. Furthermore,
that was wild. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen a wrestling company do.
To be fair, just real quick, Saquon, would it?
Absolutely.
I don't think WWE would bite on a Worlds Collide with AEW. AEW's been acting in bad faith for a while now against the WWE.
No, absolutely. For me, this wouldn't, that approach would not be in the most benefit for WWE. This approach would be, hey, Hunter, I need you. We're struggling. Literally, we messed up. We said some things. We done some things. Once I said again, lines were crossed. If you like to do a collab, we can. Now, of course, Hunter would have to say it right then and there. Hey, we can't have this happen. We can't have Copeland. We can't have Moxley. We can't have who is it? A bunch of other stars go on WWE on my apologies, on the air publicly disrespecting my company.
They really should have at least like a meeting of some sort, to your point.
Precisely.
Because like now with WWE and TNA partnering, AEW is like the redheaded stepchild at this point. And
precisely.
It's not looking good
and I respect AEW because I've said before they have moved out of the bigger arenas and moved into the small arenas, which is a good step. However, the stories are hit and miss. What's going on with Jericho? What's going on with Darby Allin? He's actually going back to climb, I believe it was Mount Fuji. Hopefully he survives that. I'm praying for him. With all these stars onto a roster, it's a mess. You have backstage drama. You have in-ring drama. He needs to swallow his pride and figure it out.
He just has poor management. I think he just gives the talent too much freedom, to be honest with you.
He does, and that's what was the downfall for, I believe, Punk in some ways. That was a downfall to a degree of MJF, because let's be honest, MJF and the character are somewhat one and the same. If Tony didn't pay those big bucks for MJF to stay, MJF will be somewhere else.
Right.
Respectfully. Same thing with Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, all these tag team guys and the Bucks. They're only there because Khan pays big bucks, and eventually that's going to dissipate. And then what?
Yeah.
So Tony needs to swallow his pride, figure his life out, and put the big boy pants on.
We've been, I feel like we've been saying this for years. They need to stop relying on like WWE's slim pickings. You know,
it's corny.
They need to get out of that. Like, they went after Edge. That's fine. Edge got to reunite. That's awesome. I love that. They went after. I'm blanking. Everybody, dude. There's so many names. They all hit me just literally at once.
Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, who just won the tag team titles over there.
They have no ability to exist without the WWE.
Yeah.
Correct.
I also feel like talent should never be part of management. Like the Young Bucks and Kenny and everything they've done for the wrestling world is great, but I think that's why Cody kind of got out of that role. I don't feel like talent has any business being both talent and management.
That's exactly how ECW started to fall.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's been pointed out for a while. And Tony's just not taking that into consideration. He wants to appease his wrestlers, he wants to appease his fans, and he wants to appease himself, and he just can't do all of that.
I think their approach worked when Vince's WWE had started to struggle, and it was new and fresh and like blowing people's minds, but that wore off really quickly, and WWE is skyrocketing now, so they got to figure out some other type of approach.
It's getting bad when like Dave Meltzer, you know, the guy who does the star ratings and everything,
Yes,
he hasn't been giving good ratings to their matches. It's good matches, no storyline.
Right.
Good story, terrible matches.
Yep.
Stunts that get people injured long term, like Edge breaking his leg.
Yeah. For no reason at all.
Sorry, Adam Copeland.
Cope.
Or Cope now.
Oh, it's Cope now. It's Cope now.
Yeah. Coping with that leg pain.
Still coping with the name change.
Yep. And that mullet.
Oh my god. And yeah, it with bringing people over and immediately having them like spill their guts at how bad a company is, and I understand that's what CM Punk did, but CM Punk did that about the WWE too. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't know. Ever since Punk left AEW, it started on a downward spiral.
I think he really exposed AEW.
Yeah,
to be honest,
he
did, and they shot themselves respectfully by digging a deeper hole.
I feel like their response to that was their last chance to dig themselves out of a hole, and they just dug it deeper, like you said.
Yeah.
Yep.
But moving on over to more fun topics, we'll talk a little bit about WWE Saturday Night's Main Event, which has been airing on. Yeah, we all have some thoughts on it, but they've been airing some main events on Peacock lately. So they had the first match of the night was Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax for the Women's World Title. What did you guys think of this one?
Saquon, you want to go first?
Didn't care for it.
I'm right there with you.
Didn't care for it. Respectfully, before we proceed, I can honestly say, please breathe. Please survive. I can honestly say, respectfully, this build-up, even a week prior to the Rumble, I didn't really care for it. I didn't care for the match. I didn't care for the PLE. So apologies if my opinions on the rest of this PLE event, show, matches is negative. But I didn't expect much because, once again, the Rumble's right around the corner. Elimination Chamber's around the corner. The WrestleMania's around the corner. I didn't have any title changes, no upsets, no nothing. So this match was okay. It was cool for what it was, but
could have just happened on SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah, it felt like a filler match.
Yeah.
This entire show felt like a SmackDown match, and I'll probably say it afterwards if you ask for my opinion further, but it was okay.
No surprises really. I mean, none at all. We'll get into that later. I didn't really think that this match, Rhea versus Nia, was too outstanding. It was good for what it was, but it wasn't anything.
Yeah, it felt like there was just... It felt like... like it could have been a nice, long match with some other little spots in there to, kind of plan the whole thing out. But it felt like all it was the couple big spots where Rhea managed to pick Nia up because, it's shocking and she's so big and she picks her up and slams her down. They did that like 3 or 4 times. Literally. And there wasn't really anything else interesting in the match. That was it. And then she hit her finish and pinned Nia. There wasn't much to it. So it wasn't great, but, it is what it is. But on to Braun Breaker retaining his IC championship versus Sheamus. This one I thought personally was a little bit better.
This was a good match.
Yeah, it was a really good title match. It really had everything you wanted. Those two had really good chemistry, both very intense. I like the spot where Braun Breaker speared Sheamus coming off the steps. That was brutal. What did you guys think of this one?
It was a great back and forth match, but again, a little predictable. I didn't think Braun Breaker was in danger of dropping a title here.
Right.
I did like the counters, the spears. Braun Breaker might have suffered a concussion in this match.
Right.
But other than that, fantastic match. Second best of the night.
Right. I agree. Saiquan, what do you think?
Great showing by both. Once again, very predictable. Didn't expect anything more, anything less. Hopefully, Braun doesn't have CTE or concussion or broken neck or whatever, because the final spear definitely looked like he led with his head.
He definitely led with his head.
Definitely led with his head. But once again, just great spots. I expected no less from Sheamus, who just re-signed for a big contract. Congratulations for him. I'm hoping that he wins the IC title soon, if not at Mania, then a future PLE. Braun Breaker, once again, showing that he's a great young guy in and out of the ring, especially with promos. This was a good title match, but once again, this could have happened on Friday Night SmackDown or the Rumble, but that's
or
it.
Raw,
that's all
or
I got.
NXT. I don't give a crap.
Right.
Yeah, anywhere. New Japan, something.
New Japan.
In my living room.
Yeah, literally.
That's fair. All fair takes. But the next match of the night, surprisingly, right in the middle of the show, well, I guess it's not that surprising. Contract signing with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Shawn Michaels was the official for the contract signing, and he ended up hitting a sweet chin music on Kevin after Kevin shoved him. I thought that was a pretty cool little touch that they added. Ironically enough, that was after I was kind of making fun of him for not aging well, and then But yeah, what did you guys think of the contract segment?
I think me and Saiquan agree on this. We hate contract signings.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes
contract signings suck.
This one, at least, we had a cool little Shawn Michaels.
We had Shawn Michaels hitting a super kick. That was great. But other than that, why was he there?
Right.
Could have been Adam Pearce.
I feel like they're in the section of these main event, like televised Saturday night main events, where they're still trying to draw people into it, see how many people will watch.
That's true.
That's kind of the vibe I get from it. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of fan-pleasing segments.
Come out with a freaking another show.
Right. I don't know.
Saiquan, you have any other thoughts on that?
John Cena, many years ago, when he went against Roman Reigns, pretty much debunked and belittled how meaningless contract signings are by literally writing it in a crayon and telling the viewers how silly it is. The only takeaway from this was Shawn Michaels and Cody kicking Kevin. But this also has me leaning towards in favor of Kevin. I kind of have a hot take or a possible foreseeable future prediction of how this could go.
Well, awesome. Save that for the Royal Rumble with predictions.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I got you. For sure. But this segment was okay. Contract signers are just so repetitive and redundant. We've seen this so many times before. 9 times out of 10, someone's getting hit with something. There's been a slim chance where these guys actually walk away unscathed, but it was a place filler.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
Um, excuse me. After that,
I don't know. It would be better, right, if every title match had a contract signing.
right?
But they don't.
Correct.
Yeah,
So it's just like we need it to fill airtime, I guess.
right.
To
Yeah.
draw that. That's why I hate it.
Yeah, it also kind of felt like they were trying not to risk any serious injuries before the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Royal
agree.
Rumble.
Preach.
But after that was Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu.
My favorite match of the night.
I would agree with that. It ended in DQ as Jacob Fatu ended up busting Braun open and
Brutalizing.
shoved the ref, and then
Didn't shove. Choked the ref.
choke
throw.
He messed the ref up pretty bad.
Yeah.
A little ref bump in there, and then he hit a whole bunch of moonsaults on Braun, who was already busted open at that point.
A whole bunch of corner hip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that, and what do you think of how they're continuing to build Jacob as a huge threat to the rest of the roster?
Saiquan, did you want to go first?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll go first. I wasn't sure what to expect out of this match. I had slight what's the word? I had a slight fear of them making Braun look weak and also making Jacob look too strong. This was a good mix, especially with the end portions of what they did with Jacob and Braun. Kind of was reminiscent of what Bronson Reed has been doing to superstars such as R-Truth and Seth and so forth and so on. This was a good match. This was a decent match. This was the quickest ref bump I've ever seen in my life. I made that joke the other day when I was watching it.
Yeah.
I've never seen a ref get strangled, then toss out of the ring, then recover within 10 seconds. Usually they're out for like
2.5
an entire
business days.
intermission. Yeah, like they like that threw me off. Usually a ref would be out so long that 3 matches can go on, but this was good. This is good. I'm looking forward to see what they do with Jacob.
Truly the only unpredictable part of the night, honestly. I love the way it ended. As you said, Saquon, it was a great mix of Jacob looking strong, and they didn't really, to me, it didn't really make Braun Strowman look weak.
Right.
It just it made Jacob feel more brutal, right? Braun Strowman didn't lose because he was weak. He lost because he wasn't willing to go as far in the match as Jacob.
Right.
But he didn't actually lose,
Yeah.
And that's what I liked. I liked that the big turnaround came on the back end of a Strowman Express.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Seeing him go through the table was fun. This was a great match. Like I said, my favorite of the night.
Fair. All fair points. So on next was Gunther retaining his World Heavyweight Championship in a banger against Jey Uso. I thought this was pretty solid as well. It was a decent little main event. I liked the finish. Finish was pretty clean. What did you guys think of the main event?
It was pretty good. It was a good finish, as you said. It just didn't feel like Jey was actually going to pull off an upset here.
Yeah,
It really didn't.
I don't think anybody's had him winning.
I do love the whole, Gunther gaining respect for Jey that they pitched towards the end of the match. And also Gunther's double. I always love Gunther's double power bombs. I think Gunther has one of the better power bombs in the company. And he makes it look rough.
That's fair. I'd agree. Saquon, what were your thoughts?
Once again, super predictable match. But once again, also Gunther and Jey knows how to put on a great match. But like I said previously, I didn't expect any different. Even leading up to it. This is, besides the fact that this is Jay's 6th time being in a World Heavyweight Championship match and 6th time that he's lost one, I don't see him winning a title off the back end of losing the IC Championship, even though we have seen that before where someone has lost a title, gained a title.
Yeah.
It just wasn't realistic to me at all.
That's fair.
Seeing Gunther lose to Jey. Not saying that Jey is the lesser athlete, but story-wise, it doesn't make much sense.
Right.
This was probably my 2nd favorite match of the night, and that's not really saying much off the back end. But all in all really good. Gunther put on the brutality that he does. Jay, even though he has a limited move set, put on a good showing. So this was good. This was decent.
That's fair. I would agree with all that. We're going to move over to the part that everybody's been looking forward to the most, the Royal Rumble predictions. We've got, before we get to the Royal Rumbles, there's a couple matches in here. We got the Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Who do you guys have winning this one?
Andy, you can go first.
I mean, most likely DIY.
Think so?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I have fallen away a little bit from SmackDown, right?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's hard
So
to watch when you don't have, cable.
Yeah.
So I've fallen away from SmackDown a little bit, and I haven't caught up on the tag titles. So is it really a threat for them to lose? What has a Motor
No.
City Machine Guns done in the company so far that have put them as a threat to take these titles?
I mean, I think it's just the fact that
When
they're
it-
super over with the fans.
And yeah, the Overwood fans.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I have him winning this one. I could see him getting a WrestleMania moment, to be honest with you. But I think it'll be a good match. I don't know. I don't really follow the tag team stuff all that much, to be honest with you. Saiquan, what do you think?
I don't either.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't been catching up. But to answer your question, the Motor City Machine Guns have been in the game for a very, very long time. Every company that they have been in, they have won a tag team championship.
Yeah.
And their first month in WWE, they did win a championship.
Okay.
I don't necessarily see them as a threat. However, as of recently, it has been a rivalry between DIY and the Motor City because they had a match previously for the championships, and due to I believe disqualification or interference, it led in DIY's favor. Now with this match, I believe that this might be, besides the Royal Rumble, I believe that this standalone match is going to be the best match of the night, hands
Okay.
down,
Okay.
hands down. Because
I
I've
like-
seen it from. Oh, go ahead. What you about to say, boss?
I was going to say, I love a good 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah, it feels
Oh,
like
for
it's been
sure.
a while since we saw one of those.
Yeah, and it has been a while, and that's why I believe that it's going to be a big, because I have seen both of these groups. I have seen NXT Takeover. I have seen back when Impact was strictly known as TNA back in 08, 07, 09. This is going to be a great match. I believe this is going to be a brutal match if done right. I believe that Hunter kind of struggles a bit with the booking of the Rumble. You have heard my complaints about the issues with last year's Rumble with the build with Cody, but when it comes to standalone matches, that's his bread and butter, especially when it comes to tag teams and solo matches. So I think this is gonna be great. I think this is gonna be a good 20 to 30-minute match.
That is fair. I could see that happening. I'm very excited to see it. I haven't had a
I
chance to
can't even
catch.
remember the last time we've had a tag match at the Rumble.
Yeah, that's been
It's
a
been a
while
while.
too.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I'm excited to see it as well. I haven't had a chance to watch much of the Motor City Machine Guns, to be honest with you. But from the clips I have seen, they're very, very impressive. Obviously, super experienced, and so are DIY. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa have been in the game for a while, so it'll definitely be a good one, no doubt. But next up, we got the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus former friend turned very bitter rival Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship in a ladder match. Who do you guys have winning this one? I can't imagine who everybody's going to pick.
Saquon, I insist you go first.
All right, cool. So I have two predictions that will lead long term. I want you guys to give me your sense.
Okay.
So this match can lead to one of two
Wrong.
ways
No, I'm
that can
kidding.
lead up to the story. So one, either Kevin Owens wins this match, which will lead to Mania. We haven't seen one person that has come back in a very long time. Randy mysteriously enters the Rumble and is actually like he's a surprise entrance, wins the Rumble, beats Kevin at Mania, and then Randy versus Cena later on in the year. My second prediction is a since it's a DQ match, right? The ladder's a DQ match. Randy interferes and screws over Kevin, and Cody wins.
I see.
That's one of the two predictions. That's it.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind Randy getting involved, either with Kevin or Cody, to be honest with you. Sorry. I do like this rivalry, though, the way they're building it with so much bad blood. I think it's going to be a good match either way. But I definitely, personally, don't have Kevin winning this one. But I think it could be a crucial turning point and or a start to some kind of WrestleMania storyline for either of them or for both of them, to be honest with you.
Now, color me wrong if I am wrong. Isn't this Kevin's third year in a row where he doesn't participate in the Rumble and he has a match at Royal Rumble instead?
I believe so.
It was Sammy
right.
when Sammy betrayed him 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Randy and Kevin versus Roman a year ago.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe Kevin holds the record for most world title matches at the Rumble with 5, 6.
Well,
It's an amount.
I feel like he's not going to get it again. Personally, I do like your idea, but I feel like the stipulation of Randy versus Cody, Randy versus Cena should be competing in a three-way match, a fatal three-way match for that, not fatal, fucking triple threat match.
Yeah.
For that final opportunity to break Ric Flair's record. But Randy's not in position to break Ric Flair's record yet.
Right.
He needs one more title win. And even if he beats Cena at, say, SummerSlam, he doesn't get that extra title win, you know?
Right.
Fair. Anyways, moving on to the Women's Royal Rumble. Some notables that have declared so far for the Royal Rumble at the time of recording. Bayley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Nia Jax, and Charlotte Flair, who will be returning, have all declared for the Rumble. Who do you guys have as your pick to win the Women's Royal Rumble? Saiquan, you want to go first?
Hot take. I have Charlotte coming back and then having a rematch at Mania against Rhea.
I wouldn't hate it, to be honest.
I would absolutely... No, I'm kidding.
I mean, who has Rhea not beat at this point on the active roster?
Me.
There you go.
About to edit my name into the active roster real quick.
Wait a minute, it says here in my notables, I forgot one. It says Andrew who has also declared for the Women's Royal Rumble.
They don't know it yet.
Well, Andrew, who do you have winning?
Me. No. I actually have Bianca Belair winning.
Nice.
And I feel like this is going to set up a little kind of division between Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill on the active roster.
Devon's going to love that pick. That's all I know.
Yeah.
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 That's fair, though. I have kind of a similar pick. My pick is actually Jade Cargill, who I think is going to return at the Rumble. Mine might be a little bit less likely than yours is, to be honest. But I think Tiffany Stratton's first title reign isn't going to be a very long one. I think she could end up losing it to Nia before WrestleMania because she kind of, betrayed Nia a little bit. Perhaps at Elimination Chamber or something like that. I think that could potentially set up Jade versus Nia at WrestleMania for the title. So, Jade Cargill is my pick to win the Women's Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble.
I think it's going to be Bianca versus Rhea Ripley, personally.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all, to be honest.
Me neither. This year is definitely a very unpredictable year for the Rumble, in my
I
opinion.
would say this is like the strongest Royal Rumble roster based off of like the declarations we have so far.
Yeah.
That we've had in
For
a while.
sure.
I'm
And
very
the
excited.
independence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the Men's Royal Rumble, some notables that have declared so far. John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura have all declared for the Rumble. Saquon, who are you picking to win the Men's Royal Rumble?
I honestly, my heart wants John, but for some reason, I don't think it's going to be John.
Like,
Here's why.
He's only for Saiquan.
Yeah.
It took me a second to get that.
But
oh God.
John, my son.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. You have a son. I forgot.
I forgot. No, yeah, I forgot I had a nephew. Here's why. I want to say 15 years ago, 13 years ago, we had this similar build up with not only John Cena, Shawn Michaels, and also Daniel Bryan. Oh, we need these guys to win the Rumble. We have to. This is the last chance. If this isn't it, then it's over. It's done. I will never get the chance again. I believe whether John wins this or not, he's going to have a Mania match. I think. I don't know. I really want to say that the final four, final five is going to be Punk, Seth, Drew, and John. It's going to be one of those. I want to lean towards Punk for some reason. I think Punk is going to win it in shocking fashion.
I mean, he did come second last year, and I would kind of agree with your top three, top four, to be honest. I could see that. That's not a far-fetched take at all. I like it. Andrew, who you got winning?
I insist, Mike.
Okay.
I know who you're going to say. So.
Yeah, everybody knows who I'm picking. I'm unironically taking John Cena to win the Royal Rumble. And here's my explanation for it. I think his final run before his retirement, to be honest, is more of a substantial reason for a guaranteed title shot than really any other story right now. If you look at like Seth and Punk, those guys have a really good story going, but they don't hold a title and they're not competing for a title. Drew doesn't hold a title, Roman doesn't hold a title, and I don't see any of those guys aside from Roman really maybe pursuing a title at Mania, and I don't think Roman really needs to win the Rumble to do it. So I think with John teasing one last big title win after going several thousand days without even winning a match is very significant reason. I think that's a very significant reason for him to win the Rumble. And especially in a year where no younger superstars really need the win that bad, I think it would be a great cap to an iconic career for John Cena. And I don't think him winning the Rumble would hurt any younger talent. So my pick and my hope for the winner is John Cena.
Well, that's very, very sweet of you, Mike. My pick is John Cena to get eliminated by CM Punk, who wins the Rumble. No, honestly, I really do, because I don't think John Cena would sit out there and just blatantly say to the audience, my pathway through the Rumble, and then he's going to win the Rumble. I don't think that's... I don't like that. I think it's going to be Punk, and I think it's going to be Punk who gets screwed over by Seth Rollins, which builds even a bigger blood feud for SummerSlam.
That's fair. I wouldn't blame you. I mean, seems like we're all picking CM Punk or John Cena. So
yeah. I really do think John Cena's number 2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we're all pretty much in agreement on who the most likely candidates in the last few are going to be.
Yeah.
So we won't be far off at least. But, yeah, I mean, those are solid picks, solid reasoning. Does anybody have any predictions for returns for the Royal Rumble before we wrap up?
I'm really hoping for Zack Ryder. But his name's not Zack Ryder. It's Matt Cardona.
Yep. That would be fantastic.
Really hoping for that. And I hope it's long term because he's currently not on a contract. So if he does sign with the company, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, that's the main one I'm looking for. Jade as well for the female Rumble. Yep. I'm looking forward to that and that build towards Mania between her, Naomi, or Bianca. So
yeah, that's fair. Andrew, is there any people you're hoping to see?
Becky Lynch for one thing on the female side or the male side. She is the man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that is right. Thank you. Hornswoggle. No, in all seriousness, Aleister Black is rumored to be available. I would love to see him return. Someone I haven't seen in a while, Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
That's not a name getting thrown around a lot. And while small opportunity, there's still an opportunity for Brock Lesnar to return.
That's true.
And, I mean,
Very true.
We mentioned this a few times. I saw him live, and I can't think of a song that would make the audience pop more than Brock Lesnar's.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. I'm right there with you with Aleister Black. I'd like to see him come back. That would be pretty sick.
I guess he's Malachi Black now, huh?
Yeah, unless he comes back, and then he probably won't be. But
Yeah.
I would like to see Jordan Grace on the women's side.
True,
From
She was here last year.
Yeah, freshly off
For
her
sure.
TNA contract.
Yeah.
I mean, those are really the only two surprises. I'm sure there will be some like comical ones in there, like some old school superstars to show up just for a pop.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he could do something funny.
Oh, that's a good one. I've heard Wade Barrett as well.
Wade Barrett,
Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities. I think it'll be a really fun Rumble, to be honest with you.
Pat McAfee
This will
was supposed to
definitely
have
be
a
better than
spot
last year.
last
100%.
year.
Yeah, that got thrown out the window, but his spot was still funny.
It
Still
was.
like what they did.
It was.
But yeah, if
I don't
nobody,
think Bronson's going to be back in time.
Nah,
Bronson Reed.
that would be a cool return too, though. To be
That
honest,
would be. I don't see it.
Me neither.
I think Joe Hendry would also be a cool one.
Haircut Sami Zayn would
Yeah.
be amazing.
Jordan for sure. Sammy for sure.
No, haircut Sami.
Yeah.
Haircut, Sam.
Oh, haircut Sam. Oh gosh, please bring that
Conspiracy
back.
theorist.
I missed that haircut. I think I'm the only person that misses that haircut.
No, I'm getting tired of it too. And I'm a
Yeah.
I'm a Sammy head.
Yeah.
Same
I'm
thing with
insane.
AJ.
Are you?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I mean, if nobody has anything else to add, we can go ahead and wrap up. You guys have anything else for the people?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Well, signing off of Ring Talk from the Free State Sports Podcast. It's been Mike, Andrew, and Saiquan. Be sure to check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify, and check out our other podcast, Cover Zero, all things football as well. Thank you for tuning in as always, and we'll catch you in the next one.
No,
Peace.
you.
You.